The CBSE is not shying away from making new decisions every week. A whole lot of decisions were taken in the past few weeks, whether it was three-language policy being implemented, the new textbooks, the national credit framework, and now we are getting this news of the CBSE open book examination starting this year for the session 24-25. So this video is to clarify certain points as released by the ministry. And first and foremost, it is the OBE, that is the open book examination. So this is in line with the recommendations of the latest national curriculum framework. The national curriculum framework already suggested in their document, a small portion was dedicated to the OBE, the open book examination. And the CBSE has proposed this for only students of classes 9 to 12. So there'll be no change in class 1 to 8. It's a proposal only for classes 9 to 12. Now, which subjects and which schools are going to be affected by this? That we'll have to see in the next slide. So here the CBSE has said that this is going to be a pilot project, and it's going to be for classes 9 and 10 in three subjects: English, mathematics, and science. So the other subjects, social science and Hindi or Sanskrit or whichever other language that is existing, that will not be assessed in this pattern. This is a pilot study of only classes 9 and 10 in three subjects, that is English, maths, and science. And for 11 and 12, it's going to be English, mathematics, and biology. Only for three subjects for this year. Now, this is a pilot project. Pilot projects means it is not going to be applicable to all schools and all subjects. It is going to be applicable to a select few schools which they select, or schools which are willing to participate in this. They may volunteer once the announcement is done that they want to be part of the pilot project. This is not a new thing. It has already happened many, many years back. So experienced educators will remember that OTB exam used to be there about 10 years back. We used to call it the open textbook examination. So OBE is right now again a pilot project. It's not going to be for all schools. It's not going to be all subjects. For 9 and 10, English, maths, and science, they're going to start with this, and they're going to see how the students are going to attempt this in the selected schools. And also for 11 and 12, as I mentioned, English, mathematics, and biology. These are the three subjects in which they're going to try out this. As I said, this is not anything new. In the past, from 2014 to 2017, they already had the OTBA, where the material was given to the students some 4 months in advance. And the students used to prepare these material. They could take the material to the exam center and give the examination. Right. So at that time, it is called OTBA. So basically, it is the same thing they're trying after probably 10 years, but they have named it a little differently, calling it the OBE. And at that time, when they implemented 10 years back, the response was very negative because the students, parents, all the stakeholders, teachers and schools were not in favor of it because it was not at all successful. And within 3 years, they stopped. So the student community and the academician community, they opposed it vehemently. And 2017, it was scrapped. 2018 onwards, there was no OTBA. Now they again brought about this OBE, trying to bring back and find out what went wrong. They're going to correct that. And then they're going to launch this in November and December this year, that is 2024 and 20. And if it is successful, they're going to make it applicable for other schools and other subjects as well. So the proposal is very simple. Selected schools will do this OBE, and if successful, and it, depending on how the student is giving these examination and what the teachers are giving the feedback, on that basis, it will be adopted all classes across subjects from 9 to 12. So it all depends on how the OBE is going to be conducted and what will be the response, the feedback of the stakeholders and the students who are actually going to give this exam. So is it going to be an easy? Now, normally when we talk about an open book exam, it appears it's like, you're just copying something from, and you are just writing an exam based on the notes that you have. However, it's not like that. It is going to be a little tough examination in the sense that it's not going to be direct questions. They're going to be HOTS, that is higher order thinking skills. It's going to be competency based, critical analysis, logical reasoning, where the student has to go beyond the text to understand things. So many of the foreign universities, they already have open book examinations. I think the Indian system, we are still in a infancy stage. We are trying to experiment out things to know what works for us. Because what works abroad may not work here, and what works here may not work in other places. So we are all experimenting, and I think we need to give due to Cbse because they themselves are not very sure of what works. So that's why they said it's a pilot project and they have not made it mandatory for all schools as of now. So it's going to be a pilot project in the selected schools in the selected subjects. Now, students are allowed to refer to the textbooks. They are allowed to refer to the notes and they're going to answer the questions. But as I said, the questions will be based on critical analysis, logical reasoning, and not direct questions, where you can directly find the answers from the notes and write down. So normal thinking is that, oh, what is this open book? Now this is the standard of education that's going to happen. However, if we analyze it critically and if we go through the questions based on the OB, it's not going to be that easy. So we'll have to wait and watch the reactions of the students and the other stakeholders in November, December, when they're going to implement this, if it's going to be successful and whether it will be implemented across all schools across India. So till then, we have to wait, and we hope that the whatever decision is made by Cbse, that is always in favor of the stakeholders and basically our student community. And I hope our education system improves so that our country can prosper and the students can do better in terms of not rote memorization, but in terms of application of what they learned in real life. Thank you.